Hey guys, so today I wanted to do a video on something very important, and that's posture. Now that posture not only affects your future health, but it also affects the way you appear to other people. So obviously if you're standing up straighter, you're going to look taller, you're going to look more confident. And just in general, bad posture can lead to a slew of things that you don't want. And it's one of the things that's not really talked about that should be. So I have with me a list of important things that I didn't want to forget to tell you about posture. So number one, if you're a girl, which, 50% of the world is, you should have a good supportive bra. If you're wearing a bra that doesn't support you, it's still pulling your weight forward, contracting your shoulders, making you really uncomfortable. And that's very common. So I think it's important for every girl to get fitted by a professional bra person or look it up and do it yourself if you're not comfortable. I can make a video on that in the future explaining it, but oh my gosh, not having a supportive bra leads to so many problems as well. I won't even get into that. Another thing, when you're texting, I saw this on Dr. Oz the other day. Our whole generation, because we're always like this during class, he's basically explaining it like you basically have a bowling ball and here's your neck. So when you're doing that, you're putting all the stress on your back and your shoulders, and we're going to end up with text neck, hunched over look. So he said the best thing to do when you're texting is to hold it up basically at your eye level, keep your shoulders out, and as you can see just from this position, everything is up and it's lifted. And this basically pretty much could probably tone your arms a bit too, but it's also going to make it a little more annoying for you to text, so you might actually make more phone calls. This is something I'm trying to work on. It's such a habit now that I just always look down at my phone. I can't help it. The next tip is to sit with a pillow if you're at the computer or something. That's the number one place for me that I can tell I'm slouching, and I know that it's really tense all within here and around the deltoid muscles to everything. But yeah, so definitely if you can put a pillow behind your lower back, that's great lumbar support, and my mom does that now, and when you're in your middle-aged years you'll understand more why it's necessary. The other thing is that just when you're standing, I tend to look down. I know I find money on the ground a lot. That's part of the motivation why I do it, but I shouldn't. It doesn't make you look confident. So you want your chin up and your shoulders back. And this, it takes a little while to get used to if you don't naturally do that, which sometimes I don't, sometimes I do. But anyway, you also get to see more of the world, and you feel more uplifted in your attitude too. It's just amazing how psychological something like posture can be. After that, stretching is very important. You definitely want to stretch out your back muscles. I mean, if you can do back bends, that helps too. Any sort of yoga stretching, like child's pose or cobra, downward dog, all of that just stretches really important muscles in your back. Which is why I also recommend yoga or Pilates, because or even dance, because they all work those muscles and get them active. Whereas when you're slouching, that just doesn't really make them the active that you want. So even just stretching like this a couple of times a day also increases your shoulder flexibility as well. So that is important. And finally, having actually a strong core helps keep everything up too, because if you're sitting up straight, you could notice that if you have a weak core, you're more likely to be hunched over and contracted. Whereas if your core is strong, it's easier and it supports the rest of your body. So those are my basic tips, and also make sure you get enough vitamin D and calcium, because those support your bone health, which is, the structural support of your body. So and my final tip, the other thing about the pillow, is that even though it sounds so stupid and cliched, and you've seen it on the Princess Diaries, walking around with a pillow on your head trains you to keep your head up, your chin up, and your shoulders back. And personally, I think it's a lot of fun. I don't know if I'm the only one. But anyway, those are my tips for a better posture and subsequently a better life. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you soon.